Now, let us continue with our explanation. Obviously, those who have passed through the second death will have to emerge back to the surface of the world, in order to reinitiate new evolving processes that evidently will have to begin from the mineral, the stone, and that will proceed into the vegetable, and that will continue into the animal until finally gaining access into the human life. Then, the human or humanoid state that was formerly lost will be then reconquered. It is really intriguing to see these gnomes or pygmies inside the rocks. They look like small dwarfs, with the big books and long white beards. Obviously, this, which we are stating, to declare this in the 20th century sounds very strange because people have become so complicated, their mind is so deviated from the simple truths of nature that it is difficult for them to readily accept these things. Rather, this is a type of knowledge that is to be accepted by those who do not have a complicated intellect, that is, by simple, natural people. Regardless, I want to tell you that the mineral elementals transitioning into the plant evolution become really interesting. Each plant is the physical body of a vegetal elemental. The elementals of plants have cognizance. They're very intelligent and they're great esotericists that know how to manipulate or maneuver them by will. They're indeed beautiful. Those who know them can, by means of their assistance, control the elements of nature. Further on after the plant elementals, we have the elementals of the animal kingdom. Undoubtedly, only the advanced plant elementals have the right to enter into animal organisms. The evolution in the animal kingdom always begins in simple organisms, yet according as the evolving process proceeds, animal life also becomes more complicated to the point that the animal elemental can manage more complex organic bodies. Later, they can reconquer the human organic state that they lost in the past. In the human organic state, the elemental, the essence, the consciousness, the soul, or whatever terminology you want to use in order to define it or explain it, once again receives 108 existences for the realization of their inner self. If the inner self-realization of the being is not achieved during the 108 existences, then the wheel of life continues rotating and the essence has to descend again into the entrails of the mineral kingdom with the purpose of eliminating the undesirable elements that in one form or another were adhered to the psyche. Thus the same devolving process is repeated. In conclusion, the wheel revolves 3,000 times. If within the 3,000 cycles, each one having 108 human existences at their peak, the essence does not attain realization, every door is then closed and the essence, transformed into an innocent elemental, submerges itself back into the bosom of the great reality, in other words, into the greater lyre of the universe, into the universal spirit of life, or Parabrahman, which is how the great reality is denominated by the Hindustani. So, this is how life is experienced by those that descend into the entrails of the earth after death. Thus, we can see that after death some souls ascend to the superior worlds to experience some vacations, while others descend into the entrails of the earth, and there are still others that return in a gradual or immediate manner into a new womb. In other words, they reincorporate, they reappear, they come back, in order to repeat their existence here in this physical world. When the soul returns or reincorporates, she physically repeats the events of her former life. We already saw that death itself is the return to the original point of departure, and we already explained that after death, in the eternity, in the astral light, we have to relive the physical life that we just finished. Now I will tell you that when our soul returns, we will have to physically repeat once again in a new body, in a new physical life, the entirety of our former physical existence.